Hi everybody, welcome to our program Universal TV. Today we're going to talk about the phenomenon of the decades MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We decided to talk about this topic for the premiere of Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, the new film of this universe. The fans needed this movie after the pandemic and the premiere's problem.
Why we love Marvel? The box office phenomenon of Marvel movies is worth analyzing just hours after the world premiere of Avengers Endgame. Learn why the Marvel Universe has won the hearts of hundreds of fans. In less than 24 hours, the Avengers Endgame movie will be released and everyone is talking about it. For better or for worse, undoubtedly, this year is a complicated situation for many and especially for millennials. And for that reason, we're gonna to give 6 reasons why you need to see Marvel and the MCU.
First reason, create sensibility. Let's start from 2 points. The first, the creation of the shared Marvel universe that was allowed these incredible crossovers. And the second, the continuity shown in various ways, post-credit scenes and dialogues, objects, and of course the characters. These are key to the base of so concentrate that the industry has gotten on these characters and the audience. The way in which they have brought the stories of each one separated to the meeting point has generated an extremely close connection between the viewers. There is a deep emotional connection to generating powerful reactions in them, including moving them in a rather peculiar way, which is a difficult to achieve with a single movie or perhaps sequels. Here we are talking about 10 years of movies. Seeing people in the room really moved, absorbed or powerless in the face of the adversity of their movies is something to admire. It is not the same to see people crying at the end of the days of Mama Coco or the death of Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man than to see the audience that has generated ties for the last 10 years of their lives. Perhaps this can only be compared with the reaction of everyone in Toy Story 3, since it also generated ties for 2 decades. And there are many examples of this. The death of Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the death of the Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy the first in 2014, the death of the Agent Carter in Civil War, and all the deaths in Infinity War, and personally hurt the Loki.
Reason number 2, it gives hope. I have known in these 2 years people who, due to various situations, went into depressions or were undergoing very hard tests or changing their emotions through Marvel stories. For many like me at first, they are just polymers movies that you catch just to hang, and now you don't see them with other eyes than shows of enjoyment, and that is. But is it surprising to see how many others it represents that gain or fights in humanity? That hope of believing and is a reality worth doing the right thing and waiting for justice. I put an example. A friend shared her close relationship from the Spider-Man film into the verse in 2018, since it helped her face, but the bullying she was unfortunately going through with his better face. It can be logical or incredible, but there are actually people that have ever seen forums or videos where they tell how these films have served as an escape point from how overwhelming life can be at times. I remember some yesterdays ago when I did not superheroes, a person with whom went out pacing through my life and shared his vision of life. He told me, I love cinema because it is the way that I can escape from my problems, house and family for 2 hours, and it gives me clues or how to solve my own squares. Now, I keep that idea in mind before judging people tasters of hobbies. That page or Facebook saying that people you meet well in your day or to day life be nice because you don't know what battles you are fighting.
Well, the third point is the excellent troubleshooting example for who better than Marvel superheroes to show us the example of problem solving. For example, just remember, the best way to solve it is to work together even if you don't like it. In all the movies of Avengers is this topic. Never stop trying. Who better to illustrate it than the good Cape Steve Rogers and his fortitude to always have a plan A, B, and C if it's necessary. Well, Scott Lang and Spider-Man make us identify with that constant struggle to fulfill in all areas of our life effectively, but in practice it requires patience and more effort than it seems. Have a partner to able to see your daughter or to pass your school subjects while doing 10 life tasks at the same time. Save the world, for example, some would say.
The fourth reason is create moral lessons in an adult world. In every movie, series, or book, there are morals that is clear, and many times we tend to believe that they only belong to the children's channel. Think of examples such as Disney, DreamWorks, or animations. But the magic of Marvel is this interesting way of placing morals starting from a cruel, harsh, violent war full of politics and interest, overwhelming, but more real than any Walt Disney scenario. The morals are the order of the day, and they also serve children. That is great. But they remind the elderly that is never too late to return to the values of the childhood. Examples of this there are many. Steve Rogers and his firm stance to do the right thing to the end in Civil War, Black Panther, and his ability to forgive who murdered his father. Other example is Peter Quill taught us that nothing good comes when we allow ourselves to be carried away by their anger and their revenge.
Reason number 5. Good examples of leadership. This program is focused, of course, of entrepreneurship and is and has, I have already mentioned it in other episodes. You can always get the best of each productions, no matter if it is a book or a series of a movie. It all depends on how you look at the proportions. In each film, we can witness that leader should and should not do. For example, such as Tony Stark putting Pepper at risk for bad decisions, accompanied by anger and ego in Iron Man 2, for example, in 2010, or Thor about to start a war with ice giants due to immaturity in Thor in 2011 are a good case of what that is a leader should not do. Other example is just like Peter Quill sharing the power of the Infinity Stone, that the Guardians for the Galaxy for a common god. Tony Stark shaking to turn his family company around to put ethical and not commercial values and forefront to our Black Panther. making revolutionary decisions, far removed from those of their ancestors, to renew and learn Wakanda to Water God. Does it sound familiar to you? Typical case faced by underground children's, it in which the legacy of a company falls on their shoulders at most. Many times break with traditions to improve. Well, these are some examples that leadership and is the order of the day in these films.
Well, the point number 6 is the great example of marketing. If you want to start from exciting movies, you can learn a lot to build your brand in the way that Marvel has made marketing its best ally. How great has been the work behind that? Today, of his most applauded feast has been to attract a genuinely new audience. Yes, those who, like me, in more than 10 years of life, have never run to the cinemas to see the new movie. We didn't even know about Iron Man, that Black Panther existed. But strictly, what has Marvel done? Well, they have intelligently started with a detailed plan, the exhaustive follow-up, whose objective is to create that temporary link, the famous engagement with the public, so that no movie is lost, or else it will lose the common thread of all the stories. They created a risky proposal, but starting from a market niche that they know perfectly. Consumption and entertainment habits, taste, and even language, which makes the risk of box office failure lower. Also, it does not always turn out like that. Right, Hulk of 2008. Also, in most cases, they have come out well, as with Black Panther or Doctor Strange. We cannot forget the pioneering film Guardian of the Galaxy, with whom the first water was taken with capital letters. Make your brand of words or mouth. Marvel has become a master when it comes to creating content on social networks, creating expectation both on and off the screen. Post-credits scenes, interaction of actors in events are related to taste of the market reach, exclusive products launches, license of hundreds and hundreds of products, etc. This is just to mention a few examples to finish soon. Wherever you go, there will be something or someone evolving these incredible characters.
Well, in short, if you don't like the movies from the Marvel Universe, at least from the business field, there is a lot of material from which to get ideas. For this reason, today the Marvel brand is just as analyzed by Apple or Coca-Cola are. The art of selling is always a field where there is always something new to learn.